You're listening to Hey Pal, What's New? Hey Pal, What's New is a product of Sack of Sin Entertainment. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and all other social media platforms. Hey Pal, What's New can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitch, YouTube, Pandora, and all other podcast locations. Or check us out at sackofsin.com or heypalwhatsnew.com. Warning, Hey Pal, What's New contains explicit content. John, Alex, and Greg are a pair of vulgar Gen Xers. If you are easily offended, please stop listening and go download a nice tame podcast like the Goop Podcast. You have been warned.
With our combined forces, we can rule the world.
With our combined forces, execute Order 66.
Yes. Hey, guess what, everybody? We're back.
One of the intel from the First Order spy. Somehow Palpatine returned.
I thought you were dead.
That's right.
No, you thought we were dead. No, we're not, goddammit. It's Hey Pal, What's New?
Is it?
Yeah, and it's Saturday night tonight. Just goes to show you
Boom, boom, boom.
what our social life is like. We're sitting in a basement together, docking. And, we'll get that out of the way. Hey, everybody, it's Hey Pal, What's New? My name's Greg, and my brother from another mother over there, John Alex, is on the other mic. We got two turntables and a microphone. And I got my Christmas tree delish. ASMR. It's going to be an interesting show. We had a week off for the Thanksgiving holiday, but now we're back and better than ever.
Yes.
We're back.
And we are officially 24 hours vomit free.
Oh, good. I was going to ask you about that. Well, we'll get that into the Hey Pal, What's New? We might as well just start it off right now. We started our podcast about a half hour ago, just chatting before we even put the mics on, which we tend to do. But we like to keep little treats in there. It's not for everybody. Listen, we have things that we do that are personal that we like to talk about.
That's right.
That's
like
not on the
Christmas
air.
tree cake.
So anyway,
Called show prep.
yeah, show prep. Yeah. What'd you watch? I don't know. What'd you watch? I don't know.
I watched the same things you watched.
Ripped a couple of farts that burned my nostrils and everything's.
did they.
Oh boy, man! Did you ever? I think I brought this up on the podcast before. Did you ever fart so bad you made one of your kids cry?
No.
Me.
Dad.
I
Not so bad, but if I'm like standing in Mila's door and I'm talking to her, I go, and I let one go. She's like, what the f-? She gets so mad, starts throwing things at me.
I remember when the kids were little, I was giving them a bath and it just like one of those little poppers came out. It was like,
Yeah.
and it stank so bad. Mom just started crying.
Aww.
And my favorite thing I used to do was at my house, there's where their doors are, they're like those thin kind of like wooden doors.
Yeah, Luan.
Yeah, and it's like a little bit of a hallway before it's like a little alcove. If you fucking press ham on their door and fart,
vibration.
it echoes through the whole room.
Good vibration.
I used to get my girls used to get those door farts, man. All they would hear is, Dad! Just like, I was like, what? You can't smell it? Yeah, but you shook everything in my room.
Oh.
Yeah, so, enough about farts. Hey, pal, what's new with you?
Oh, boy. Sick kids.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, Xander, it was so funny because I fell asleep. Like, he was in my bed, and I was like, all right, I'll just sleep on my chair. And I'm sleeping on my chair, and I hear, like, all of a sudden I'm woken up by the sound of, like, someone running and knocking on my door going, Mom, Mom. And I'm like, that can't be Xander. He's, like, in the room. What the? This is a dream.
Yeah.
And then I hear, and then a splat, just like the dog 2 weeks ago, but worse.
This house is the vomitorium.
And then Kate comes out and like, oh my God, let's go to the bathroom, And you hear him, like, go in the bathroom, goes all over the floor in the bathroom. Hits the toilet. He was up all night throwing up, though.
And how old is Xander at this point?
He'll
11?
Xander will be 12 in 2 weeks.
I thought, okay, because, I knew I think he knows where the toilet is, right?
I
I never got that with little kids. Yeah, it's just like, Why are you going to come in and puke in my room when you know where I will give my girls credit. Like, they are excellent pukers. Like, they'll just be like, even when they were younger, they're like, Zoe would go in, puke in the toilet, done. You know, never all over the place or anything.
Not my
Except
kids.
Once when Zoe was like 3 or 4. That was the last time. Holding her in a tub while she's shitting and puking at the same time. And I'm just like, okay, all right, get it out. And
Oh.
yeah, but
My kid took out a mailbox. Did I show you the video?
You sent me the dashboard cam. Can we please put it on the page?
She won't let me.
Come on, I'll talk to her.
And it was literally. I said to her, I was
She
like,
likes her
it's
Uncle
like you
Greg.
were aiming for it.
Well, that happened to me once when I was coming down the hill in my old house, and it's such a steep driveway, and it was icy, and I couldn't stop, and I was like, well, I'm either going over the side or I'm going to. So I went and smashed my neighbor's mailbox, just destroyed it. Car was fine. Didn't even get a dent. I'm like pulling it, and then I had to go to my neighbor and go like, hey man, I'm sorry. I destroyed your mailbox on the way there. I'll buy you a new one, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm thinking, all right, he's going to, I'll get one from Home Depot. It'll be like $20, whatever. Like a week goes by, and I get a knock on the door, and it's this guy. He's like, here's your bill for the mailbox. The mailbox was like $300.
What?
He bought like the Cadillac of mailboxes, had it like professionally, like he put a whole new post
what a
in and all that
dick.
stuff. Yeah. But yeah, vomitorium, huh?
Yeah, that's me in the chat. Just
okay.
making sure it's working.
I thought we were getting more sex things. We did launch a new channel.
Chips Ahoy.
Clips Ahoy.
Clips Ahoy.
Clips Ahoy. We started. I started taking some of the older episodes and moving forward. What we're going to do is start clipping out the whole thing. So if you guys don't watch the whole podcast, and you just want to get to the
juicy stuff.
Yeah, like I call it the fun size. Like the little snacky cakes. We started doing those, and it's actually doing pretty well. So I started doing those, and I'm slowly going through. But I was going through some of the older episodes to kind of like, what did we talk about there? Like, where can I clip? And the live stream thing is there, and it's just like hot new girls.
Damn.
So anyway, if you're interested on the YouTubes, we have links to our new channel, Clips Ahoy. So yeah, get yourself some clips. Speaking of which, too, we'll get a little house cleaning out of the way. Besides Clips Ahoy, and if you go to Sackasin, if you go to Sackasin.com, I updated the website with all the talent roster that's on there.
It looks so sexy, the new site.
Oh, thank you. I worked really hard on Squarespace.
Whatever, man.
Offer code WTF.
It's better than frames.
Yeah, true. But yeah, we put up the talent roster on there. We do have to add one new person, which we're going to hype up his show. We were going to have him on today, but unfortunately, he's a rock and roll star. He's out there doing the business. He's a new member in the SAC. Breach the Asylum is playing the Chance next week. And I was so excited because we were going to get him on Friday, but since we changed, he had to do some other stuff, but I was going to get him. And one of the members, one of the bands that are playing on the show is Jam Syndicate, which if you're from the Hudson Valley area and Putnam County or whatever, Jam Syndicate, man, they haven't played together in Jam Syndicate. We used to open up for Jam Syndicate, Product Society, back in the day.
Back in the days when I was young.
Damn it, we're old. A band that is they are super way ahead of their time, kind of like where we were. But they just released their stuff on Spotify, some of their old recordings. It just brought me back, man. So I'm super excited
what's
to
funny?
go.
They posted the remaster of one of their songs.
Yes, and all of that stuff is going to be on the Hey Pal What's New Spotify playlist. We got a lot of music, a lot of stuff to touch on, music-wise, TV-wise. Movies, I only saw 2. Just to finish our house cleaning, on Friday, December 9th, we got Breach the Asylum. We got Jam Syndicate playing the Chance. Christmas Bash. It's a benefit for Toys for Tots. I'm going to be there. Yeah, Friday night. Man, it's going to be Probably around starts like 7.
Okay.
I'm going. You going?
I'm going if you going.
I know I'm going. I gotta go see my boy Rob Jackson. I hope he puts on his polka dot pants again.
Oh, sexy.
No, but
Hopefully they still fit.
Yeah, I mean, Breach the Asylum, we're very, very happy to have them as a member of the Sack of Sin. We're going to be doing some good stuff. Looks like coming in March is going to be our first showcase. Fingers crossed, we're looking at the Loft. So we're just finalizing dates. It'll be a Sunday night. So, yeah, go check them out. Maybe we'll do some sort of live thing from the Chance or something. Maybe we'll record some stuff. But, yeah, I'm excited to see those guys. They're old friends. Really cool people. Great band. Check them out on the playlist. And, yeah, we'll see you there next week. So, what you got there, Jackson Brown? You got some news? John, you got any news?
Oh, we have to say goodbye to Brad William Henke, actor. 56 years old. You might know him from Lost. Oh, wait, you've never seen Lost.
Nope. Late to the party.
Well, if you've seen Orange is the New Black, he was one of the guards. He's one of those guys that's like in everything. You're like, oh, it's that guy. More recently, I think I saw him in The Stand, the remake that they did.
When you scared me when you first said that because I thought you said Brad Williams. And I was like, wait, what? No, Brad Williams didn't die. While we're still in the death dedication, we might as well talk about R.I.P. Christy McVie from Fleetwood Mac.
Oh.
Yeah, she passed away recently this week. You know, we got some 2 damn death dedications.
So let's go to number 3 on the death dedications.
Ooh, we got a third?
Longtime Woodstock, New York icon and resident. Those people who visit Woodstock, there's this guy up there. He sweeps the sidewalks. He's been up there since forever. Yeah. Everybody knows him. He goes by Jogger John.
Jogger John.
Yeah, his real name is John Sinan. But we call him Jackie. He was my cousin. So they're having a memorial this weekend for him up in Woodstock from 2 to 4. I didn't even know. My mom told me about him years ago, and I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. So every time we go to Woodstock, I find him, I talk to him, I see how he's doing. He's this guy is like just he was the happiest guy. He just didn't give a shit.
I think it's the Woodstock thing when you get up there. It's just maybe there's just some remnants of weed from all the different Woodstock shows where it's just they get a little wavy gravy up there.
He was 79. So,
big bucket of win, as Kevin Smith would say.
So, anyway, other news. Prime Video overtakes Netflix to become the #1 streaming service in the United States.
Okay.
Who gives a shit? These streaming services don't release numbers of how many, real subscriptions they have. I don't know. I was telling you, like, Prime Video, if you have a Prime membership, you get Prime Video. And now you also get Prime Music. Not a commercial here. But are they counting everybody who has a Prime membership as, hey, a subscriber to Prime Video?
I think that's the case. It has to be because how many people – I remember – I mean, the only thing I watch on Prime Video is The Boys and Invincible. Like, those are the two shows.
And I watch Lord of the Rings.
You watch Lord of the Rings, yeah. Other than that, like, every once in a while I'll go to it where I'm flipping through the streaming things, but I'm like, I never –
Well, there is a lot of good stuff on there. There's the Jack Ryan shows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean – They do have a lot of good original content. I just don't know that they're very well known for it. I think that's why we kind of write off Prime as like a contender in the streaming media market. But
yeah, I don't know. Netflix is taking some beatings, man. They really are.
Speaking of beatings, that other news related, CBS is approaching the King Netflix as the biggest TV viewing source.
CBS,
their streaming
the all
service.
access thing, yeah.
Because everything is on there. And I think that's another one where it's like, well, CBS is now part of Paramount Plus, which are they counting everybody that's on there? Or are they just counting, and they're just TV. So, of course, they're a big streaming. Who gives a shit?
It's amazing how we all think about streaming services and numbers and stuff. Like, it's like, what does it matter? Like, I think the only thing you worry about with that stuff is when, you have a show or a streaming service that you like that all of a sudden you're like, oh, shit. Like I remember when Friends was a constant on Netflix with my daughters, and then all of a sudden they panicked because Friends was going away. And then it ended up going to, HBO Max or something like that. And they were free. Oh, we got to get HBO Max. It's just like Yeah, it's very weird, every with the streaming things. Like I don't know. Like why do I care?
I don't.
I like to hear numbers, like they talked about one of the TV shows that we're going to talk about actually is the most streamed thing on Netflix, or most streamed Netflix hours.
Right.
Which surprised me. One of the shows we're watching, which is, we'll get into it later, but yeah, they were one of the more than Stranger Things. I was like, who beat Stranger Things in viewing? But we'll get to it.
Me.
Yeah.
And lastly, just last bit of quick news. Finally, Bob Odenkirk is going to start filming the sequel to Nobody next year.
Yeah.
Have you seen Nobody?
I have.
I mean, John Wick Dad Bob?
I loved it. Just that bus scene alone.
Like
that's what we were talking.
He's just like, I'm gonna have to beat the shit out of these guys now. Fuck.
And that's what was funny, because you said that we were commenting on one of the old podcasts that, like, I never saw a John Wick movie, and you're like, but you watched Nobody. I'm like, yeah, because that's more like Keanu Reeves in a nice suit going whoa and kicking people's asses. I'm like, I get it, it's cool, but I'd rather see Bob Odenkirk kicking people's asses.
I mean, with John Wick, it's one of the things is like at the end, it's just like, why did you do us? They killed my dog.
Yeah. He's in 4 movies now just because somebody killed his dog.
Imagine, what would they have if nobody did? Just leave the guy's dog alone.
Yeah. It's the next Marvel What If. What if John Wick's dog lived?
It's him fat sitting on a couch watching TV with a dog eating biscuits.
Whoa.
So that's it for me.
John, you got any news?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's the end of the year. Like, it's interesting. Like, I thought about last year. When we were talking about how we're going to do our rank episodes, I found my note of the rank episodes from last year.
Right.
And I'm like, half the shows, I'm like, they haven't come back yet. Like, damn.
No.
Like, where's my Yellow Jackets?
Nope.
Where's Invincible?
Yep.
Like, where's all these shows? But, yeah, it was
gone.
interesting. It was interesting to see, so it was cool to compare. But, yeah, as far as what's going on with our movie, TV, and
well, before
music.
you get to movie, TV, can I just ask, have you watched the trailers for the new Indiana Jones movie and Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes, yeah, that's what I was going to say
I wanna
about
get
the
your hot
movie
take on those
stuff.
before we get to what I haven't seen any movies that I can really want to think about and talk about.
Yeah, I only saw one, and it was a documentary, but we'll get to that.
Me too.
I think most of the hype was. It was funny because I was listening to one of the shows that I listened to. I sound like my grandmother. I'm like, I got to watch.
I was listening to one of my stories.
I was watching my programs. Do you have the Weekly World News? I need to read that too. No, I was this week at the Comic-Con in Brazil.
Right.
Everybody was like, yeah, they do announce things once in a while, but like Disney, Lucasfilm, old DC, they all came guns a-blazing. All of a sudden, people are like, why are all these trailers coming out? And it's like, well, because Comic-Con in Brazil. I'm like, really? They dropped so many cool trailers. Yeah, we can go through each one of them.
Well, no, those are the only two that. I mean, what other ones were there?
There was the Transformers one, which...
Oh, yes, which I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about.
Well, I found out, I was like, oh, God, a fucking Michael Bay movie. Michael Bay is not even involved in this
Oh,
one.
it might be good. Wasn't he not involved in the Bumblebee one?
Yes.
And that one was fucking amazing.
Yeah, Optimus Prime. Yeah.
My fight is not with you.
Yeah.
I was like,
So
okay.
it actually, I'm not a big Transformers movie guy, but I watched it. I was like, oh, okay, that looks pretty interesting. And I did hear that Michael Bay, like he's an EP on it, but he's not directing.
Now, have your girls watched the trailer?
Of Transformers?
Yeah.
No.
Because my girls watched it, and at least Mila didn't. They both were kind of excited about the finally having a female Transformer.
Oh, okay.
I never really gave it much of a thought that, like, in the movies, there was never. I don't think there was a female Transformer. And Justin's gonna fucking correct me on this one.
Yeah, newsflash, girls. They're cars.
Now, no need to be sexist,
Now,
Gregory.
yeah, well, I mean, is it really? I mean, I know there's Optimus Prime.
I mean, there's other ones that other trailers that I've seen, but we don't have to go down a trailer rabbit hole. But I thought the Indiana Jones one and
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy were like the top two. Transformers was like okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
that was
really...
that was the first one that came out, and people were like, "Oh my god, they're Transformers!" Oh. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Wait, no, there's a new Indiana Jones trailer. Oh
Yep.
wait, there's Guardians trailer."
Yeah.
Yeah, both of those. What is the name of the new Indiana Jones? Like the Dial of the Dial of Destiny.
And the Dial of Destiny, it's right there.
Is it Dial of Destiny?
Yeah, down the bottom of the screen.
Wow. Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, James Mangold, who did Logan, is doing that one.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean the de-aging stuff is going to be interesting.
Well, yeah, that and are they gonna play into the hand of just regurgitating old jokes for that kind of like fan service? Give them this and they'll overlook this is a shit movie.
I don't know. I mean,
that's always my fear with this.
I have faith in James Mangold just because he's done Logan and Ford versus Ferrari, and you're like, okay, and he seems to really get. I mean, yeah, some of the de-aging and all that crap. It looks pretty good. I think the rumor around town is it's based on one of your favorite things, the time travel. Think about it, dude. Dial of Destiny, de-aging things. I don't know. But, yeah, but no, I'm excited for that. And Guardians trailer, I mean, hit me in the feels.
It did.
That whole thing with Drax hitting that kid in the face with the ball. I couldn't
Holy
stop
shit.
laughing.
Well, now, okay. Do we want to get into that? I don't want to do a whole trailer breakdown, but
no.
So the guy who made Rocket, that whole thing where they go is an alternate Earth that's apparently in the comics was completely opposite in rotation from the Earth around the sun. So it's like you could never see it because it was always completely on the other side of the sun from us.
Oh.
And that guy who made Rocket basically kind of created that planet for all of his experiments.
Interesting.
And that's where they're going. So this is a whole, I think, Rocket origin story.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to eventually be a Rocket origin death story.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a lot of them are making it out.
No. Well, a lot of them are done.
Yeah, we got some Adam Warlock in there, though.
Yes.
Looking pretty slick. That was cool. It looks like it's a very emotional. James Gunn is just so good at.
It's like James Gunn's swan song. I'm leaving Marvel and I'm gonna leave you fucking in tears.
Yeah, all the stuff that he does is he does the perfect blend of comedy and hits you in the feels.
Yeah,
even with Peacemaker, which is a ridiculous show. Ridiculous. It's one of when we do the ranks of TV. That's right up there.
I mean, how do you watch that show? How do you give me a show where I'm laughing hysterical and uncomfortable, and a second later I'm bawling like I'm watching my kid being born?
Yeah, he's a freaking genius. So I've always been a fan, even back in the Slither days and Super and all that. But yeah, that looks like. It does look like a Rocket kind of. When I saw that they landed on that planet where it was all animals,
yeah,
and human, I was like, "Ooh, this might be where Rocket came from." It looks really good. So I'm very excited. I mean, I think 2023 for Marvel is going to be a big flip. Because
I'm hoping.
With the rank stuff that we're doing for movies, normally it was let's put all the, I'm thinking about movies for this year, and I'm besides. Usually it's heavy on the Marvel stuff and the comic book stuff. This year, 2022, man, horror was huge this year.
Oh, yeah.
All of my favorite movies, a lot of them are horror, including one that I watched this week. I got to tell you a little bit about it. It was, I recommend it. I'm kind of late to the party with it. As far as we could start with the movies, because it's going to be pretty quick with that, I think. Was there any new movies that you watched?
Other than the one documentary that I told you about earlier in the week. Take your medicine, Xanax.
Oh, yeah. I was afraid. You told me about it, and I was like, I should watch it, but I'm kind of afraid to.
I watch it. It kind of made me glad I've never taken Xanax. It's the one thing I've never taken.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game changer for people. Everybody's heard me once in a while on here. I go, "Oh, it's a Xanax day." It helps a lot of people, but it's also highly addictive.
Oh yeah.
And being an addict, I get very scared about it, but it's interesting. I definitely want to watch it, but the only thing that I watched movie-wise was two things. I actually have two movies.
Tell me.
One I will do is okay, we'll start with the documentary. You want the documentary or you want the horror movie?
Documentary.
All right, documentary. I happened to watch on Showtime. It was released. They have a documentary on Ronnie James Dio.
Wow.
Called Dreamers Never Die. I think that's what it's called. It's on Showtime. It just was released. It went through the festival circuit and stuff, and it was and I've always been a Dio fan, right?
Yeah.
Fucking, especially during his solo stuff, Holy Diver and Last in Line stuff.
Holy diver!
Yeah, look out! And I've always just been like I've followed him over the years. I was a big fan of him when I was a teenager. I didn't really. I mean, that guy. First of all, one of the best vocalists in rock and roll. In general. I don't want to talk even about metal. It's just like, but I never realized. And it made me think a lot about, and it was funny because I did listen to Dio like the whole way here before I got here, because it really goes into, it starts all the way from the beginning and goes through his entire career, and you never realize, or you didn't really think about it, where he was, first of all, he was a jazz trumpet player, and he was in the 60s, he was doing a lot of
Wow.
Had some 45 recordings. It was like Ronnie and the Rollers and all this stuff. And you're like, you could hear his voice and you're like, oh, wow, yeah, that's Dio. And then I had known that he was in a band called Elf before
But I didn't
everything.
know anything about.
I've never listened to them.
Was he in Rainbow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Like he started in Elf, which they were signed. Interesting thing is that they went to sign them, and Richie Blackmore and Roger Glover from Deep Purple were going to help them record their first record.
Okay.
And then something happened or whatever, but they were kind of involved with, like, you could tell when, and I went onto Spotify and was like, is Elf on Spotify? And by George, yes it is. And I listened to it. It's great. Like, I never listened to them. I mean, it's very Deep Purple. You can tell it's very Deep Purple-ish. A lot of piano, but very blue, like rock and blues and stuff. But his voice is just like, oh my God. He sounded great then. And then you don't realize that. So he was an Elf. That didn't last at all. Richie Blackmore leaves Deep Purple and goes, I'm going to get that guy from that band Elf and like half of his band, and I'm going to start Rainbow.
Right.
And they take off, and but they were always big in Europe. They weren't that big in the U.S. So it was interesting because they play, and everybody's talking about this Dio guy. Like, oh my God, he's got an amazing voice. And they got Richie Blackmore, and like Stargazer is like one of the best freaking rock songs in the world. I love it. Love that album, Rainbow Rising. He's in that. They didn't hit in the U.S. So Richie Blackmore's like, I want to do more of like pop stuff, and Ronnie was just like, I sing about fucking slaying dragons and shit. Like, I don't want to do that. I'm like the little elf guy. So
he had to be a D&D freak.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's all into. And it was interesting what his thoughts. He's like, he found his wife early on. They were married for 40 something years, and everybody was trying to go the pop route. Even Rainbow, like they got a new singer, and they had that Since You've Been Gone. Like, that's, Ronnie heard that song, and Richie Blackmore's like, we're going to record this because we need a hit in the U.S. And Ronnie's like, I ain't fucking singing that shit. I don't sing about love songs because I met my love. I don't have to sing about it. Like, I don't worry about heartbreak and all that stuff. Just like, I've been with Wendy so Richie goes, fuck you, we're getting rid of you. So now he's like, oh shit, what am I going to do? Cut to fucking Black Sabbath, loses Ozzy, and then get Dio in.
Yep.
And, everybody, once Ozzy left Sabbath, everybody's just like, oh, they're done. They're fucking done. And then they put out Heaven and Hell.
Yep.
Fucking amazing record.
Great up.
They go, like, he's huge again, because he gets out of Rainbow. He's like, he didn't own anything in Rainbow, so he was broke. And then Tony Iommi's like, oh, we got rid of Ozzy. We need a new singer, so they get Sabbath. And Sabbath takes off with that album. Everybody was like, oh, shit, this is great. Cut to, they do 2 albums with Sabbath, and same thing. Like, guitar. People talk about lead singer's disease.
Ugh.
Lead guitarist disease. Between Richie Blackmore saying, I want to do pop, then, like, Tony kicks Dio out of Sabbath because they were all coked up and they're all just messed up. And he's like, so he goes, fuck it, I'm going to get a band and I'm going to do my own stuff. Does solo. That takes Dio. That goes freaking 3 times, this guy. 3 times. No, if you actually count, it's 4 times because he does Dio. That takes off. Right. And then Nirvana happens. And then now he's playing clubs again, but he's still putting out music.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, near the end of his life, they get Ronnie back and they do Heaven and Hell, that tour. He's taking off again. Like, he went from like, his career was just
A roller coaster.
and just like the singer on that, like he just, and so many bands that like he was like, it's just I highly recommend watching it. Like
check it out. It's on Showtime.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the fact that I watched it, and made a Dio playlist like right after it, because you're thinking like Sabbath, Rainbow, even Elf. I listened to the whole Elf album. I'm like, this ain't bad. It's very 70s Deep Purple blues kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm a big Will Ferrell fan too.
But the Elf, what's your favorite color?
Cotton-headed ninny monger.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's called Dreamers Never Die. Check it out. It's on Showtime.
All right.
If you're just a casual Dio fan, like you just the contributions that this man made to metal and rock. I mean, he invented the freaking devil horns, for God's sakes, which is an Italian curse. It's the Maloc, he calls it. His grandmother used to do it. So, yeah, Dreamers Never Die. Definitely check it out.
It's on Paramount Plus.
Oh, there you go. Well, I think they're hooked up with Showtime now, Paramount Plus.
Oh.
I was actually flipping through cable, and I saw it, and I was like,
wow.
Oh, shit. But, yeah, definitely watch that. It was really good. The other movie that I saw, which I'll be way shorter than the Dio one, was it's kind of a late to the party with me, but but it's a movie because I saw that Dead Meat covered it on the Kill Count. So I was like, I heard this was good. I don't know if you ever saw it. It's called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
I wanted to watch it with Pete Davidson.
Yes.
And I was like, and I wanted to actually go to the theater and see it, and nobody wanted to fucking go. And then like all this shit out. It was one of those times where like I wanted to go see it, and it was like, you want to go see it? It's like, well, when? Well, the next showing is at 8:00. It's like, oh, then it's not done till 10, and blah, blah, blah. Not really. And then it was too late, and I never went to go see it.
Yeah. Well,
was it good?
It was good. Because I heard people talking about it, and I was just like, it's a little too Gen Z for me. But that's the whole premise of the movie. I mean, the movie is basically, it's these rich Gen Z, millennials actually, not Gen Z, millennials. There's a big hurricane coming, and they decide to have a hurricane party at this guy's huge mansion, and they decide to play this game, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. And it turns out real bodies are being discovered, and it's this whole like mystery. But the way that these characters play it, they are very like everything is just based on their phone, and it's all about social media. And I won't spoil it for you if you want to watch it. But at the end, you figure out what happened or who done it, and you're like, no fucking way, I did not see it coming. And it was interesting. It was fun. It definitely pokes fun at millennials in general.
Okay.
And so you have I have teenage girls, you have young teenagers and stuff.
Oh boy!
So you'll get it. When you watch it, you'll be like, yeah, that's exactly how they act. But it's great. It's a different take. Like like we were saying, this year horror movies were awesome. I would give Bodies, Bodies, Bodies a solid 3.5 pals out of 5. It was just maybe I'd only taken off points just because I can't relate to it as much. But I could see, similarities with my kids, and just the way that they act and the way that they solve problems and stuff like that. Whereas like a person my age is like, why the hell are you doing that? That's so stupid. And there's like the quote unquote old guy that's at the party who's like 30, the old guy in the club. But if you get a chance, it's a quick movie. I don't know what it's on. I had rented it. I don't think it's on any of the streamings yet. But rent it if you get a chance and watch it. It's fun. It's not long. It's entertaining. And the ending, the whole reveal, I did not see it coming.
Oh, see, you got me there because I just hate predictable shit.
It's not predictable.
Now, I don't know if I mentioned it. Like, in looking, I just jumped over to see something, and I saw my list of, like, stuff I've watched from the sites I get it from. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I brought this up. Did I tell you I watched that movie, the sequel to R.I.P.D.?
I just saw it show up on the screen. I was like,
R.I.P.D. 2.
You saw that shit?
Rise of the Damned. I did watch it.
Oh. What's the hot take? What's the hot
very
take?
Direct to video, which is very depressing. Like, it's very depressing just because, like with the original R.I.P.D., they got big name people leading this, and the guy isn't very big name, but I remember him from this show I watched with Bruce Campbell. It was called what the fuck was it called? It was about a guy who was a former Burn Notice.
Okay.
And he played Michael Weston, like the former spy, and Bruce Campbell played like a former spy, and they're both retired, whatever. But like, he's such a good actor, and he's so much fun to watch. And I'm like, he's very much like an A- actor.
Okay.
He's not.
He's
But like R.I.P.D. 1 had fucking
Ryan Reynolds and
fucking,
the dude.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, that two A-list names. I don't know that Ryan Reynolds was as A-list then as he is now.
No, he was on his way.
And then fucking Green Lantern happened.
Yeah, I think that's what killed him.
But it was all right. It wasn't. I mean, if you want to sit and watch something,
I have no
mindless entertainment. Like, let me check this piece of shit out. I got nothing else.
I don't think I saw the first one. So, I mean, it looked interesting when I remember when it first came out. I was like, oh, it's a comic book movie. Okay. Yeah, I like those. Jeff Bridges.
Yes.
And,
Jeff Bridges.
You know, I love Jeff Bridges. So I'm like, and, you know, Ryan Reynolds, I loved him at the time at Waiting. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, this looks interesting. But I never got a chance to see it.
Gotta hit the TV.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Because I got no movie other than just saying R.I.P.D. 2 because it was I watched it.
Electric Boogaloo.
I had nothing else to watch, you know.
No, TV. There was a lot of.
You know why? Because I got to the end of Pornhub, so I was like, well, what else is there?
Is there an actual end to Pornhub?
No. TV. Where do you want to start? Because there's a lot of good. You want to start with the finale of Andor?
Yeah, that could be a good one. Holy shit, dude.
Holy shit.
That was just
so I did bring up after watching Andor, I brought up and these are those little fucking things that it's a continuity problem that drives me crazy.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take it back. Remember this scene where the architect guy is talking to Saw Gerrera, and Saw's getting all paranoid, like, do you have somebody on your side? Who do you have? And he's like, yo, fucking Tubes. Yeah, Tubes is my guy.
Tubes over there.
Two Tubes is no one talking to me. Now, that movie, the Andor series takes place right around the time of the Death Star stuff.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 5 years before
Rogue One, which means Saw Gerrera is now in timeline is either raising Jyn Erso, or has raised her and now she's off. My point to that is she should fucking know who Two Tubes is. But when you watch fuck.
So in other words, Two Tubes was there all the time. She would have known who, you know.
And in Rogue One, when she's captured and she's in there, when he's the one who grabs her and brings her, do you think she'd be like, I'm Jyn Erso?
Or and
he'd be like, "Oh, Jyn Erso, yeah, I remember you." No, it's like he doesn't know who the fuck she is and doesn't believe who she is, and she doesn't know who he is. I'm like, you grew up with Two Tubes. How do you not fucking know who this guy is?
Two Tubes, goddammit.
Goddammit, Two Tubes.
I don't understand.
Next thing you know, you're gonna tell me you don't know who Pissbot is. No, but it drives me fucking nuts because I'm like, he acts like he doesn't know who, but even moreover, it's not like.
Wasn't written yet.
How many fucking guys with two tubes in their head, right?
Maybe at the time he only had one tube, the main drain. You don't know that.
But how could she not know who he was? I don't know. I know I'm being nitpicky.
They didn't recognize Jyn Erso when he came. No, right. he recognized. Saw recognized her as soon as she came.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And look, I can overlook the fact that Cassian looks older in the Andor show than he is in the movie because there's so much. I can overlook that. I'm fine with that. I really am. But that one, it's like, come on. That's too big of a continuity mistake for
Whole
me.
show ruined for you.
No. It's, you know what? I still love the movie. I still love the show. I will rewatch the show. I've rewatched the movie a dozen times.
Oh, yeah.
But this finale was just like...
Oh, it was just the uprising with his mother, just the image of her, and she starts talking shit about the Empire, and then she gets everybody all riled up.
And then Cyril finally gets some.
Yeah. Well,
he saves her.
Yeah, he saves her.
So he didn't
get a hand job in the back of the alley, but
he gonna get some. Trust me.
Oh yeah, he's got some, and that fucking tie. It's like I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
there were points I was confused, but like I kind of figured out when Andor goes back and retrieves his money and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, is that somebody's apartment?
No, it was it was like I guess he had it stashed somewhere in the hotel room.
Okay, it was in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there
I was just trying to figure out, I was like, I feel like he's in somebody's apartment. The guy's still sleeping in bed and he snuck in and is getting his shit.
Well, is that like some alien in the evening that he had, you know?
Maybe, I don't fucking
They'll
know.
go out to the Blue Ox. I watched that this morning too. Fargo.
Oh God.
I don't know. He said I'm going crazy out there down by the lake.
So now I'm really anxious to see what's coming in Andor season 2.
Hopefully K2SO.
Yes.
Hopefully Krennic. Give me some Krennic.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
now they're doing what? 2 more seasons of Andor, or
just
is it
one. Just one.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was supposed to be. This season was, they did it in the 3s. There's going to be a time jump where it comes to like a year before year 1.
Okay.
Rogue One. So, it was funny. They were talking about 3 because Tony Gilroy's like, yeah, we're going to do 3, and then like Diego Luna's was like, wait, I signed up for 2. Like,
I don't
so
slow your roll there, buddy.
Yeah, he's just like, okay, Look, I'll take as much Andor as I can get. That's definitely one of my top TV shows, and the finale did not disappoint.
No.
It was it kind of tied it up nice in a bow, and he went to freaking
and I'm kind of glad they never gave us any of the freaking, Vader, this guy, that guy. We didn't get any of that, and I was kind of happy about that. And I do like that little post thing where we get confirmation of the shit that he was building is the beam for building the beam of the Death Star.
Yeah, we all knew that, like, when he was doing the stuff. Like, I had heard theories from people saying, well, they could be just having them do busy work, and then they want to get. It was like, why would they do that?
No,
they
but
would need that slave labor.
But that also explains all the things about why the Death Star was falling behind. With that revolution in the fucking manufacturing prison.
Yep.
And the uprisings everywhere else that are starting to happen are gonna put that behind.
Yeah.
And he's what is it? It's fun to watch the fact that Cassian Andor, it's like, oh, Andor, you built the thing that kills you.
Because that sucks. There's always just so much like we had talked about with Obi-Wan, where he lets him go again. Like, Obi-Wan Kenobi, out of the whole Star Wars canon, has the most blood on his hands.
Oh, my God.
And everybody loves him.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, you left him to die. Like, you
lava.
left him twice.
Yeah.
The first time, he's a freaking toasted almond, and you're just like, and he's just like, you were
supposed to be the chosen one, Anakin.
I mean, I love Obi-Wan. I think Ewan McGregor is a phenomenal Obi-Wan. But it's so funny. I think about it, it's like, did the Jedi Academy doesn't teach about double tapping?
No.
Fucking, you got him. He's a toasted almond. Just stab him in the freaking head and just be done with it. Or cut his head off.
But then we wouldn't have all this.
Yeah. And then again, he's got him on the ropes and he's just like, goodbye, Anakin. And he just leaves him. We're like, wait a second. You can't let that go. Didn't you learn from Halloween Kills? Evil dies tonight.
That's right.
Evil dies tonight. Yeah. So, yeah. Andor, I mean, what can you say that hasn't been said 100 times? But it's just, I'm definitely going to rewatch the whole first season again.
Oh, hell yeah.
Looking up for that. Because then we got, next coming up, I think, is Mando is in February. I think that's the next Star Wars thing.
Yes.
Maybe sneaking in a Bad Batch, which I did like the first season of Bad Batch.
Yeah.
It was definitely entertaining enough.
I just can't find one. I was looking for something. I wrote up a review of the next thing, but I don't know where it went.
But the next TV thing that you might want to do, we discussed about we should probably do one that we both watched, and that would be Wednesday.
But it's Saturday.
No, the show Wednesday.
Oh.
Dude, you were getting into it, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to watch it, but.
So here's my hot take on that, because I know we talked about a couple weeks ago that some of the early reviews were saying, like, she's phenomenal, but the show kind of misses the mark, and I disagree.
Yeah.
I think she's phenomenal, but I don't think the show misses the mark. I think the show did a great job of incorporating what us nostalgic, like old school Addams Family fans gave us enough fan service. The people who were fans of the Christina Ricci Addams Family movie, right, gives them some like gives them what they want that was in that movie, they put in this one, and then gives a more modern twist like we've been seeing, and I think I mentioned this, like we've been seeing with shows like Riverdale.
Yeah, Riverdale.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the horror series they did. What were some of the other like shows and comic things that we grew up with that they've kind of put a more modern twist on to make them almost a different genre, go from being like campy, but also they did great at maintaining that tween show that I call it very CW. It's like CW 19, CW 18.
Yeah,
it's like PG 18 CW. It's got that combination of story, heart, those moments, the friendships, and like a buddy film and a bunch of kids rising up against what we've seen in all these shows we've been watching lately, like the Stranger Things thing where you got a group of kids, and you got groups of kids who normally wouldn't fit together who all of a sudden do fit together.
Yeah. Very Goonies and stuff like that.
I loved it. I really did love it.
You know, it was funny because you said you were going to watch it, and I was kind of on the fence. I was like, maybe, I don't know. And I was at Manal's, and we like to just put a show on and just binge it. And, it was one of the days I was there, and we're like, that show Wednesday is on? Maybe we should watch that. And we binged it. We were like, oh my God, I ended up finishing it, and she finished it once I left. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Jenny Ortega, great. That dance, the dance was phenomenal. It kind of made me feel a little weird because I knew she was in that movie X,
right?
And she's supposed to be playing this like young girl, but I'm like still kind of like.
Well, that whole dance thing has become like a TikTok craze now.
Of course it has.
And now, and people tried to fucking blow her up because she's like, I choreographed that myself, and like, as you can tell, I'm not a dancer.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, well, yeah, you just copied some Bob Fosse stuff. And she's like, yeah, I'm not a dancer.
Yeah.
I'm looking at other stuff to inspire me, and I'm just copying moves from other things and just putting them together. They tried to fucking throw her under the bus, some of the people online.
Everybody tries to throw her
like, shut
under
the
bus.
fuck up.
Can't people just enjoy stuff?
Nope.
No, everything's got to be like,
and it's true. People are not going to be happy. The people who are bitching about her copying the dance probably fucking love it, but they're like, well, I'm not going to attention giving it love. I got to be angry at it, and people will give me attention.
Yeah, I mean, on this show, we do talk about stuff that's kind of crapola, but at the same time, we like to promote what's great, not what you hate. Yeah. And I don't want to be one of those people that are just constantly crapping on stuff. That's why we talk about stuff that we watched that we enjoyed, or stuff that's just so bad you're just like, oh my God, you have to. It's a freaking train wreck.
We're Kevin Smith, not Mark Bernardin.
Exactly.
Kevin loves everything. Mark's like, that thing was shit.
Yeah, he's like, well, like, oh God. I mean, he does make some points, but yeah. I mean, there's stuff like, look, if you don't like it, there's so much stuff to watch. But I think she nailed that part.
Oh, she did.
She really did. Like, just the whole mannerism and the way, she's like, why don't you take a stab at it? She goes, I do enjoy stabbing. Stuff like that.
And I found it fascinating, and makes me want to rewatch it now because I didn't realize, like, she does not blink.
No.
That was part of the thing that Tim Burton said to her, is like, whenever the camera's on you and you can't blink, because that's part of the creepy, altogether kooky of Wednesday is like, don't blink, it'll make it creepier.
Yeah, I was very happy for Tim Burton. That I'm like, because he's burned me in the past. I'm just like, stop making everything so sad.
And he's doing things like Shagger Dave brought it up, bringing back like music that we listen to, like the Cramps.
Oh, I love it.
Rediscovering the Cramps. And I think Dave brought it up. I think it was the Halloween movie that the song Teenage Werewolf was in.
Yep, and Halloween by the Dead Kennedys.
Right.
It was freaking, I made a comment on this thing, and I was like, yeah, and Dead Kennedy's Halloween was in that. It's like best part of the movie. He goes, there was a best part of that movie? I'm like, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
As we said, we don't like to crap on stuff, but oh boy.
So yeah, I give the old Wednesday Addams like 4 stars, 5 stars.
Wow, you go
4.5. I'll go 4.5.
Wow, yeah. I mean,
I didn't see much wrong with it.
Something's got to literally make your penis explode to get.
Okay,
5.
I think I said it to you. Mm-hmm. The one thing that got me was when the fucking pilgrim guy comes back from the dead. He literally looks like the fucking leprechaun from Leprechaun.
Give back me gold.
Tell me he doesn't.
Oh,
Tell
yeah.
me he doesn't.
Well, maybe is it the same actor? Who knows?
No. How do you spell leprechaun?
Leprosy.
Leprosy.
Oh, my.
Like, come on.
Give me back me gold.
Right? What was the guy's name in the Wednesday movie?
Oh, God. Not Cousin Ed. How about Regan, what's his face playing Uncle Fester? I was like, he nailed it.
Oh, my God. He was so good.
Wednesday
Oh.
bad guy.
Wednesday bad guy. What is his name, though? That's what I want to know. Oh, wow.
Wednesday 13. He's a good guy.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, we'll look it up. We'll post it on the page. But yeah, I was definitely like, I looked at Manal afterward. I was like, damn, this is really good. I didn't think I would be into this, but yeah, it was very good. Is there any other? I know there are two things that I watched. That maybe I know you didn't watch the Walking Dead series finale.
Well, no, but I watched Willow.
Oh, you did. That's right.
I watched the first. What is it? 2 episodes are up now.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I wanted to not like it. Okay. I honestly expected it to be like the Dark Crystal series that they did where it was like, oh, you're fucking digging this shit up just to, because nostalgia's the big thing, and it's gonna be so bad and all that stuff. And it was really good. I mean, Warwick Davis is Warwick Davis, but like, but like the show in and of itself, it's got that girl who's in Solo and in Falcon the Winter Soldier, the girl with the red hair and freckles. Yes. She's in it, and she's very good. She's a classic misdirect, and I'm not kind of spoiling it much at all. It's a freaking TV show because you find out in the beginning of the first episode that, the girl who works in the kitchen, Cinderella, happens to be like the baby from the Willow movies that they saved, and they hid her away there so that the witch couldn't find her.
Yeah, I was very on the fence about watching that as well because I don't. If it was a Labyrinth remake,
right?
Labyrinth show, I'd be way more into it. Willow, I was kind of like, that Ron Howard movie, yeah, okay.
Well, and Willow is good, but I don't know that it holds up over time. The movie and Val Kilmer's Mad Mardigan character can't be in this one, but the woman who he's involved with, they're married. She's the queen. They have kids, and their twin kids are like their daughter is the one going on the quest. Instead of Willow going on a quest to find whatever, it's them going on a quest to find Willow, and now they've found Willow and they have to save everything. But it's good. There's so many parallels, and I never really gave it any thought until one of the shows I watched brought it up. So it's basically like a little kid's ghetto version of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you got your wizard Gandalf. You got it's everything. Yeah. Everything that it checks all those boxes.
It was like a Dollar General version of
But it was very good. I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to continue to watch the series. I was very happy with it. Yeah. I gave up on Dark Crystal one episode because I was like, this is crap. I can't know.
Yeah. Give us back the eye. We must have it.
I don't even remember the original being that good.
No, it was just puppets just walking around. It's just like, oh boy. Yeah, so that's cool. You can definitely check that out. The ones that I watched are, I'll do quick because we are running late. But I did watch the Walking Dead series finale, which just to reiterate, I mean, I definitely enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. I mean, I've been invested in the show since the pilot. I watched every episode, so I'm like, all right, I got to see how it ends. And the way that it ended was good. I mean, it was better than I thought. I did put it on the on our Facebook page that they shot a completely different alternate. Oh yeah, he does look like freaking Leprechaun. They did shoot a completely different. Who wore it better? Ending to that, like the show. Well, like at the end where they don't do a time jump. Because look, spoiler, Toil in trouble on this. For those people that still watch The Walking Dead. So the ending of it kind of, what we were complaining about, or at least I was complaining about because I was still watching it, is that, with all the spinoffs, we know that these people aren't going to die. We know Rick's coming back. We know this. We already knew it. So it's like the ending was kind of like, okay, I just want to see how it plays out. And it was good the way they played it out.
I don't know how it plays out.
It's completely different than the comic book, because in the comic book,
I hate to tell you, I didn't read the comic book.
oh, see the comic book at the end, this Commonwealth thing. First of all, the big thing is Rick, and in the comic book, it's all about Rick, Carl, and Dwight.
Okay.
Who's on Fear the Walking Dead. Those were the big points in it. Like Rick kills Dwight, for the governor. In the comic book, the issue before the last one, Sebastian kills Rick and he becomes a zombie, and then Carl has to kill his dad. And then at the end,
Zombie Rick.
yeah, and then at the end they flash forward to like Rick, Carl being an older guy, like an adult, and he's like telling the story. This one was kind of like they just left it open-ended, kind of like, all right, well, we're going to explore here, we're going to explore there, and Rick's kids are just sitting, like, oh, everybody left, and they're just kind of hanging out at the Commonwealth now because they took it over, and I'm like, all right. But they did shoot an alternate ending, which I'm dying to see, was they were going to do where they're driving, you see this van coming up, and, it's pulling up into Atlanta, like it was in the original one, and it's a grown-up, oh God, I can't even remember her name now, little ass kicker, yeah, and RJ, who's Rick and Michonne's kid, Rick Jr., and he's on the thing, and they're searching for people, and they're adults now, and they're just like, if you could hear me, please respond to this. This is Rick Grimes, because he's Rick Jr.
Right.
I was like, that would have been freaking awesome.
That would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah, but they can't do that because, so I was like, but they shot the whole ending. And I was like, I want to see it. It's like the Joker thing in Batman. You're like, I just want to see how it looked. Because they did show a picture of the adult Judith Grimes and RJ. So I was like, man, that would have been like a great ending. Like he's kind of carrying.
I didn't even know there was an RJ.
Yeah. Well, when Rick went off in the helicopter, Michonne, it turns out, was pregnant, and then they had their little mulatto baby.
So wait, Michonne has a kid now off screen though, so we never see any of that.
Yeah, it fast forwards, and all of a sudden there's this little kid, RJ, which is Rick and Michonne's kid that Rick doesn't even know he has a son. So yeah, that would have been cool. So at the end,
if they use that other ending, that would have set up I think a much better series. Like
you could have. Yeah, you could have kept going, but I was kind of bittersweet. I was like, okay, well that's not over, but I mean, there's gonna be 100 other shows. Then the other one that I started watching Tulsa King on.
It was so good
with Rocky Stallone. You've been watching it too?
I've been every episode.
Yep,
so good.
Yeah, and like we were saying, like I don't remember Sylvester Stallone ever playing a gangster, and just that whole thing. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Where
well, it's the same people who do Yellowstone.
Yeah,
which I love.
And it was something where when I first saw it, I was like, oh, is it going to be like Goodfellas, kind of gritty Sopranos? Not really, but still, I mean, still great. I'm enjoying it. I love seeing Sly do something different for a change and doing it well. Definitely, if you get a chance, watch the Wednesday show.
Yes.
Watch Tulsa King.
Yes.
Those are the two big ones on there. And if you haven't watched Andor at all, Jesus, what are you doing? Get on that Disney Plus. Get on that. So other than that, you want to just breeze through the music? Yeah, boobies.
Eat it! Eat the cookie!
Yeah, it's music news time. There was some stuff that came out. We could definitely talk about. I was going to get into the whole Pantera thing because they just did their first show as the reunited Pantera. Sounds good. I don't know. I still feel kind of weird about it because it's Pantera without the Abbott Brothers. So I'm kind of like, well, it's a tribute to Dime. I'm like, that's great. I'm sure the Abbott Brothers are super stoked that you guys are fucking doing this. So, I mean, but in all fairness, whatever. I don't want to get too much into it. And so let's just get into the music itself. A couple things came out. First one, there's this band. They're from, like, San Francisco. Small little thrash band. Kind of put out
Did you know that
single.
rice-a-roni is the San Francisco treat?
I did.
Okay.
It's delicious.
Continue.
It's ghetto fabulous, just like the Lipton
fabulous.
It's ghetto
fabulous. By the way, sackasin.com. Go on the merch page and get yourself a ghetto fabulous T-shirt.
That's right.
That's right. Spray paint and all. Yeah. So
all proceeds go to support my drug habit. What? No.
yeah. I mean, somebody's got to pay for this stuff. And it ain't gonna be me. It ain't gonna be you. So that's the true root. So yeah, there's this little small band out of San Francisco called Metallica.
Oh yeah.
They put out a song, I think. Everybody's just kind of.
You and I have differing opinions on this. I did not like it.
Yeah, you didn't like it.
I'm sure it'll grow on me. I'm not.
It's funny. Like they're like the what I like to call them, like the Michael Bay of metal
Michael
music.
Bay of metal.
Yeah, because you look at it and you're like, well, they put out something and you're like, that's fucking cool. And then you listen to the whole record, you're like, oh man, like you fooled me again, Michael Bay. God damn it! It looks cool, but it's so dumb. But no, I enjoyed the new Metallica song. I mean, it wasn't, it was so funny that it came out of nowhere. Like nobody knew their album was coming. The Michael Bay of metal.
That's the name of this episode on Spotify. Metallica, the Michael Bay of metal.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Yeah, because it's one of those things where they come out with something and, they'll come out with a single. So you're like, God damn, that's how. And then you hear the whole album and you're like even Hardwired to Self-Destruct, that song.
So good.
It's a killer.
The rest of the album?
Their albums are too long. Like you're like, yeah, it took you 6 years to put this out. Like, really? You could have, put out some of these, but they always have killer. Nowadays, with my theory on Metallica, because everybody seems to have an opinion on this song. I mean, you go on TikTok, all these sites, everybody's just talking about this song, like, because it did come out of nowhere. All of a sudden, I'm on Facebook, and I'm like, wait, what? Wait, Metallica has a new song out? And wait, they have a new album coming out? Like, when did this happen? When the hell did this happen?
You know how I found out about it?
J-Dog.
When Justin sent me the thing about that concert, with the 2-day concert where the first day it's what, Pantera's opening up?
Pantera and Mammoth.
And then the second night is Five Finger Death Punch opening up.
And Ice Nine Kills.
Right. And Metallica is doing completely different sets both nights, and your ticket is for both concerts.
Yeah, and that was something I was going to bring up with this song, too, is that they put out this tour for the next 2 years, 2023 and 24. And I talked to Justin about this, too, because he did get tickets.
Yeah, I know. He told me.
But the weird thing, and that people are up in arms about, is that so they have the sale out now, but you have to buy both shows. You can't just go, well, I'm going to get day one because I just want to see Pantera, and fuck day two. I don't want to see them. But they're not releasing. You only have to buy. I mean, you have to buy for both shows. They're going to release them where they do. You can buy day one or day two, but it's a month later. Which by that time, who knows what they have left?
Nothing.
And the tickets are like, nosebleeds are like $200 a ticket.
Yeah, Justin got probably nosebleed seats, and then he said, I'll look at his message, but he said his friend got tickets and they were like a couple $1,000.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and people are mad about that because you want to be able to say like, oh, I'll see both, maybe get a discount. I mean, he did say, I think he said it was like $200 for if you buy for both shows, but that's like nosebleeds.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, but I don't want to, Metallica. I haven't seen them since Lollapalooza.
So wait, last time you saw Metallica was the last time I saw Metallica?
At Lollapalooza, yeah.
Lollapalooza,
when
your car broke down on the way home.
Yeah. Oh, God, that story. Jesus, that was a nightmare. Yeah, that's the last time I saw him. So I was interested I was actually like, I should probably see him again.
I would love to see him again, but I'm not paying that fucking much money.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it was just, and I know fans were kind of pissed off about it because they're just like, wait, I have to go to both shows now? But I'm sure what's going to happen with the
people will just sell their ticket.
Yeah, they'll sell one where it's just like, they'll start scalping. Yeah, so, that song, it had a definitely a new wave of British heavy metal kind of thing to it. Yeah. Well, see, look, 2-day tickets are $155.
That's not. You know what?
And that's not too bad.
That's in the 300s.
Yeah.
That's not that bad. I don't know why it's Ticketmaster. Anyway, continue.
Well, yeah, let's not even get into Ticketmaster with their whole bullshit. Old Tay-Tay messed that whole thing up. Did you hear about that?
Oh boy.
Yeah, she's There you go. Seek and Destroy Reserve Package, $700 a
What
ticket.
is that package? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Does Lars Ulrich come up and jerk you off? That's what I want to know. And yeah, Pantera opening up, which I always thought was funny because, these were supposed to be like one-off kind of festival shows that they're doing as a tribute to Dime. Now they're going on tour for a year, 2 years. Get the fuck out of here.
More info on the
VIP packages. Yeah. I mean, it does have benefits. So, but yeah, like we said, people like the bitch. Other than that, some of the other music that came out this week, haven't had a chance to listen to the NoFX. They put out a whole album. It's called Double Album.
Oh, I have to listen to it.
Yeah,
I do like NoFX. So
I do. And we talked last week about re-releases and remasters and stuff. The Cure, Wish, has a 30th anniversary. That is an unforgotten.
Oh my God.
I love Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Disintegration, Wish is like the holy freaking trilogy.
Yep.
And just I got on a Wish rabbit hole recently because it's just such a good album. That one and Bloodflowers. Really, nobody talks about Bloodflowers, which I love that album.
it's all right.
Yeah, it harks back to like Disintegration. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, that album is great. We can go. Oh, let's talk about a Sack of Sin artist that just released their EP.
What? Who?
Yeah, Blue Alien Mystic, our boys.
Bam.
Bam is back, baby. Bam is back. The better than ever.
I was a little off on that one.
Call back. Re-Entry, the new EP by Blue Alien Mystic, a Sack of Sin Entertainment talent, is just released. 3 songs. You got a Dougie song in there and 2 Barry songs. Great stuff, man.
More importantly, where can I buy it?
Well, too bad we did this on Saturday because yesterday was Bandcamp Friday, where all the proceeds go directly to the artist.
So wait till next Friday.
Yeah,
Every Friday, isn't it?
No, it's once a Friday, once a month.
Damn it.
But who cares? Go on Bandcamp and purchase that shit. I did.
We'll put the link in the description.
Yes, definitely. Definitely support one of our friends and talent. Because Metallica, look, man, they got the cash. Blue Alien Mystic could use a few bucks. A few bucks. Yeah. Other than that, we can do one more in the music. If you got the I Thought They Were Dead going on there.
We've decoded the intel from the First Order spy. Somehow Palpatine returned.
I thought you were dead.
That's right.
That's my new one.
Remix! Hey, kids. Faster Pussycat came out with new music.
Kill. That's all I know of Faster Pussycat. Faster Pussycat, kill.
Come on, Faster Pussycat. House of Pain. Not Jump Around, but In My House of Pain. They're an 80s classic band.
Nice.
They went a little Marilyn Manson near the end. The singer Tammy Down. He was, big part of the metal years, the decline of Western civilization. He was in it, the Cat House. They have a single out called Like a Ghost, and it's good. I like Faster Pussycat. Bathroom Wall, come on. Number on the bathroom wall. They were like, the undiscovered gem of 80s metal.
Oh, schools.
Very cool. And then, like I said, he did go into his Marilyn Manson phase, and then they were signed to Cleopatra at one point. And they got a little gothy, a little scary. Now they're back to the rock. Tammy's been sober. He just recently got sober, thank God, because the guy was going to keel over any minute. So, yeah, man, support these bands, especially our friends in Blue Alien Mystic, our boy Vern at Preach the Asylum, Jam Syndicate. They have their album out on Spotify. We're going to put a song in there. We're going to put some Bam in there. We're going to put a whole bunch of stuff in there. We do, at the end of the year, starting in 2023, we're going to have to do year 2 with the playlist because it's getting pretty big.
Yeah.
When Santa's Got a Brand New Bag pops on or David Hasselhoff, I'm like, why?
Why? Why is this on here?
Why is that Greg Gilroy single on there? That guy sucks.
It's time for the Brown Hornet.
It's time for the Brown Hornet.
Anyway.
You're like school on summer vacation.
No class.
School on summer vacation. No class. Where's Tight Rod? Tight Rod. The rails are coming off, kids. You can tell it's the end of the show. We babbled enough.
What a joker.
Sackofsin.com. Go
For
on there.
All your entertainment needs.
Listen, check out the bands. Like I said, come March, We're going to have our showcase. We're going to have all the artists on there. Or we just acquired Breach the Asylum. Go see them at the Chance. We're going to be there. If you want to come by next week and say hi to us, we'll be there. Maybe we'll pass out some stickers, some stuff.
Some stickers and
Yeah,
stuff.
and get people talking about stuff. Because, we're excited to see that. And if you're going to drive tonight, please take a car.
That's right.